I know that you guys have a lot of younger players going to look to fill the shoes of Rondé gets. And for you, tackling spring practice, who are some of those players that have maybe stepped up in the absence?
Well, David Clement's probably the leader of our group right now. He's the older guy, going to be a junior. Dan Villari would be a guy, but he's getting healthy through the spring, so he's not practicing during the spring. Then I've got two freshmen. I've got Elijah Washington, who's doing a good job, getting bigger, learning the offense, and then I have Jamie Trimble, who's growing and learning the offense as well. But they're all doing well, and they're young guys, so I've got to develop some more players.
What have you seen from Jamie Trimble's growth from this year, or from last year at this time to this year now?
Well, I think he has a better grasp of the offense. He's been here a year, so he knows the offense a little bit, and we're asking him to do some things that we probably wouldn't ask him to do if Dan were here. But that's a little bit more for him. But I mean, he's doing a good job. We're putting him in situations where he can be effective. He's not the biggest guy yet, so he has to block in a certain way that's different than David or different than Elijah. So he's doing a good job with the role that he has.
There's a lot of father-son connections on this roster. Your son's competing to be the starting quarterback. What's your advice as a father for him going through that process?
Well, he's old enough now. I've done a lot of talking throughout his life, and I try to stay out of that and let him do his thing. Let Coach Nuns coach him, and I'm a dad at home, but we don't talk a lot about the football part of it. So I just try to be there for him if he needs me, but I really don't do a lot of football with him right now. I'll let Coach Nuns do that.
Coach Nixon mentioned wanting Jamie to put on a little bit more muscle. How important is that going to be to his growth?
Well, if he's going to play tight end, I think you have to grow and get bigger. I mean, so that's just a part of it. You're not going to block a 260-pound defensive end at 205. So, but he's got good DNA. His brother's big. He's a starting tight end for the Carolina Panthers. He's 6'4", 245. So it's in his DNA. So he just has to grow up. I mean, he's a young kid. Forcing him to eat, forcing him to lift and take the supplements and nutrients, but he's doing a good job with it. Still a freshman.
It seems like they're certainly putting an H-back label on OG as he goes to the NFL. How do you think he makes that transition to that position?
Well, I think OG's going to do great. I mean, he is a matchup problem. So if he goes to the right team and they put him in the right situation, I think he'll be just as effective there as he is here. The one thing that OG has is tremendous football IQ. So he'll adapt and he'll figure it out. And he's a competitive kid. He doesn't really talk a lot, but internally he's a real competitive kid. So he'll do fine.
How would you say Rondé influenced some of the younger guys in the room last year and even this offseason as he was heading out?
I think he just showed those guys how to work. How to approach every day in the meetings, how to approach practice, how to warm up. All the things that you need to be a good player. And how to play when you're tired. I mean, he's always a guy that even when he was fatigued, he was always going. And I think that was the biggest thing, is just showing those guys how to work and compete.
There seem to be some opportunities for Coach Nixon and Coach Nuns in the offseason, but everybody's back and you have that continuity. How important is that to have everybody kind of hitting the ground running again as the same crew?
It's great. I mean, our offensive room is seamless. We get things done quickly, and everybody understands the offense. We've got a couple new guys in there now, but for the most part, there's guys in there that have been here a year, and we know what jobs are expected. We know what role we have to play to make Coach Nixon effective. So we're all with that. Our room is great. I love our offensive room. Like I said, everything just flows.
What kind of adjustment is that when you have a quarterback competition versus somebody who you knew was going to be the guy this time?
Well, I mean, it happens sometimes. I've been in situations where I've been the quarterback coach or the offensive coordinator, and at certain times you have a guy that you know is going to be the guy, and everybody knows that. And then so there's times when you have to develop people, and then that leadership role and the belief that everybody has in that guy comes a little bit later. But before we get too far involved and get closer to the season, I think Coach Brown will make that decision and let everybody get behind somebody and then lead our program into the first game.
Thanks, Coach.